Welcome to the Inner Space Covent Garden talk. Our talk today is Elevate Your Mood. Our moods are put to the test every day in the most unusual or unexpected situations, sometimes even with other people. Do you find that? I know I do. But what really affects our mood? And are moods contagious? Do they really affect others around us, or do we get affected by others? Have you found that wherever your thoughts go, your moods often follow? It's interesting. We put such emphasis on moods, but they don't really represent the state of our life. They just pretend to. So to bring more energy into our life, lift our soul and create good vibes all around, we've asked our speaker to share her tips on how to elevate our mood. Patricia is joining us from from Rio in Brazil, and she's a dental surgeon by profession. Patricia's going to be sharing with us for the next 40 minutes. And then after that, she'll take us through a very short guided meditation. Following that, she'll be taking any questions. So please send in your questions via the question and answer link or the chat. And I'll take those questions and put them to Patricia on your behalf. Patricia, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, dear Artie, for the invitation. Thank you, Inner Space, and everyone who is dedicating this time to be with us. I hope it's not too much noisy around here. I'm just in a road with a lot of, in a street with a lot of movement in Rio, in Copacabana, and from where I'm speaking at the moment. And it's such an interesting topic, this topic about our mood. Today I live inside Brazil. I live in another capital called Belo Horizonte, which is right in the mountains. It's a region of a lot of mountains and waterfalls, but a completely different landscape from Rio. And so when I come here, because my parents live here, one of the things that I love to do is to go to the beach and to swim. And I was swimming this morning and floating in the water and just thinking about this lecture, actually, and about this topic. And one of the things that I was realizing is that actually moods are really like the waves of the ocean. So they come and they go. Sometimes they are strong, sometimes they take you by surprise, sometimes they are more mild, and the ocean is kind of more like a swimming pool, as it was this morning. But it's like external situations. That is something that you cannot really control. Situations in the world, sometimes they are intense, sometimes they are demanding, sometimes they are kind of peaceful and serene, sometimes they are kind of so intense that they provoke so many emotions. But there is a bottom part of the ocean, and it's amazing. It's just to put a mask and to dive, and you can see that there is a completely different world down there. It's different in everything. It's different in the light, it's different in the sound, it's different in the silence, and in the colors, in the rhythm. And I was just realizing that ourselves, we have also this part in us, which is it's like completely another world. There is a different rhythm, there is a different flavor, there is a different nature, there is a completely different experience. And I believe that stability is one of the things that everyone wants to experience, because stability is a kind of platform from which you can jump, you can create, you can enjoy. If there is not internal stability, if our internal world of emotions, moods, and feelings is all the time going up and down, you cannot really grasp reality and enjoy and create and express yourself truly. You are all the time trying to deal with something. It's like to be all the time busy, you know? And I think that that's very much the reality of our world nowadays, no? It's not by chance. I was reading the newspaper the other day that in Brazil, anxiety has become one of the main reasons for people to take a license from work. So they take a health license from work to treat anxiety. No, it's like to deal with so much, so demanding this world of sensations if you don't come from a space of stability. And it's true that when we experience this inner stability, then there is nothing wrong with enjoy the colors and the different flavors of the world outside, because you are able to do it with a completely different perspective, let's say. So that's how I feel that one of the important things really is to be able to cultivate this inner world, this inner space, to visit it, to discover it, to be more with ourselves instead of all the time try to grasp something or to receive something or to take something from the world outside. So from this space, I believe that you are able to really make the best of your life. Even because from this space of inner stability, you will be able to be more available for others, for example, to listen to others, to catch what they need, to give the right answer at the right moment, available for the opportunities which come in our life every day. We might be facing a difficult situation at the moment, but I mean, our life itself tells us how there is no difficult, there is no problem without a solution. And sometimes it's just a matter of, kind of being able to develop a part of ourselves that otherwise it was going to be latent, dormant. So situations also come as an attempt of life to make us become, to kind of develop our full potential, because for sure human beings are able of so much more than many times just the ordinary routine allows us to discover, to express. So I always see problems, and it's really something in me. I think that it was very much probably inculcated in me by the student life, which is an invitation from our practice in Brahma Kumaris, not to be a student of life. So I have this perspective of putting myself in front of situations, trying to learn something from them. So what they can teach me, what they can invoke from me, what I can kind of develop. And I think that when we develop fully this part of ourselves, then we are able to stay in this space of stability in which our moods, they don't go up and down so much. And I'm just thinking about keeping the good mood, you know, that mood which is appreciative, which allows you to kind of manifest the best of yourself. So I was thinking about some methods that we could cultivate, because in everything in life and also in our moods, it's a question of be active. You cannot just be passive and wait that your mood is going to be wonderful. You see, like you have to be really the protagonist, the main actor of your life. And yes, there are some directions which life itself gives to you, or kind of the higher conscious gives to you, the experience of our ancestors gives to us, our kind of friends and relationships also sometimes can give to us, but it's all a matter of I myself individually being able to act upon it, being able to construct, to build what I want as a result. And with moods is not different. I really need to build up that state in which my mood is good, is constant, is positive, and allows the best of myself really to manifest as a kind of inner door, which just gives me this space to be the best of myself. So what would be some of these methods that we can apply or practice so that we are able to experience this state of stability? And one of the things is always to change our perception. So I'm going to give another example of this morning in the beach. It was raining here yesterday, and there is plenty of trees nearby the ocean. So the water was full of leaves, kind of some dead leaves, and there was also some algae. So it was not that very clear water. No, there was some leaves and some algae around. And so, yeah, one could enter that water and just feel, oh, it's so full of leaves and it's full of algae and it's not pleasurable. But it's just a matter of swim a little bit and go a little bit further. And then you could just experience the refreshment of the water. And I just look in front of myself and I could see this amazing, beautiful moon. And it was what? I think it was 8 o'clock in the morning, 8:30, and there was this moon in the day. And around this moon, all these birds flying. Such a beautiful scene and such a beautiful feeling of refreshment. And for one moment, to just feel whole with that entire environment. And then I was thinking, it's a matter of choice. You can just be stuck in the leaves and in the algae, which are immediately around you, or you can do something, you can move yourself, you can elevate your vision, you can see something else beyond, and instantly your feelings change, your experience change, and you feel, I mean, amazed. And so I think that the perception is a choice. There is always a different way of looking to the situations. And of course, if we look just to the ugliness, to the difficult, I mean, that impacts our mood. Of course, our mood is going to be heavy and it's going to be down and full of concerns and worries. But if you just go a little bit further beyond and we have this bigger vision, we can kind of really kind of enlarge our field of perception. And for sure, there is always something to be appreciated. And the result is just immediate. So I think that to challenge our perception maybe would be one of these methods that I would list. And then, sometimes what also disturbs our mood is the amount of expectation that we have. In terms of how the situations should be, how the places should be, how the experience should be, how other people should behave. And it's very difficult that your expectation matches with reality, because each one is as they are, and situations are as they are, and you cannot really control. So I think that when we are able to to put our expectations a little bit more aligned with reality, or we can be open to reality, to discover reality, what it is instead of what it should be. This word should, in all senses, even in terms of myself, sometimes we have some ideal in terms of how we would like to be, how we would like to experience things, how we would like to behave. And maybe it's different from what we are, but still, like if you just appreciate all that you are already doing. Another day, one guy told me one thing, I found it interesting. He said, you know, Patrícia, the perfect, the best, he said, the best is enemy of the good. And sometimes it's a matter of understand what you have and make a good use of what you have instead of trying to get the best and be struggling for the best without really having the opportunity of making the best of the goodness which is already around you. And if we make, and that's the interesting thing, that if we make the best use of the good which we have, that's the only way to reach the best of all. But if we try to get the best, kind of cursing what we have around ourselves, thinking that it's not enough, that it's not good enough, and should be like this and should be like that, then this energy is never going to allow us to reach that best point or that best position that we would like to have. So I think that really give value to whatever you have and put your expectation more down a little bit. It's not that you don't want, I mean, one thing is to have an aim and objective, and to have an aim and object of something great. It's fine. No, if you go for a competition, you don't go there to lose. You don't go there to be, I mean, in third position, let's say. You go there to be the champion. It's fine. But don't allow this extra expectation, this aim and objective to kind of create a frustration, and don't allow you to make the best of what you already have. So I think that this way of kind of managing our expectations versus aim and objective, and kind of giving value to the good and build up the best from what I have, I think it's another method, which is also interesting. Then, a third one, I think it's connected with the quality of our thoughts. And sometimes I have this thought myself, that it's important to have an alignment between thoughts and words and actions and relationships, but from where it all starts. And another day I was interviewing Sister Manda from Oxford, for anyway, and I asked her about this alignment, and she asked it in a very nice way. She said, just forget the alignment and start from the beginning, and the beginning are the thoughts. And I agree with her. So if we pay attention to the quality of our thoughts, then, I mean, it probably will create an alignment, because if you think positively, if you think elevated thoughts, if your thoughts are thoughts of appreciation, how are going to be your feelings? I mean, and then from the way you feel, how we are going to act and to relate to others. So it's all kind of linked one to the other. And so to pay attention to the quality of the thoughts, and to have like one thought after the other. When I change the quality of my thoughts, then I'm able to change the quality of my moods. And it's kind of, again, 1 second thing. No, you change your thoughts, you change your moods. And of course, one thing which is important then in this sense is to be able to be an observer of your thoughts, to be able to perceive what's going on in your mind. Because there are some people that they just become aware when that thing already became a pattern, a kind of an emotion, a conflict, an illness, or something which is already too big, let's say, to be able to manage in 1 second. But thoughts you are able to manage in 1 second. And so to have one thought each time in a kind of conscious way, like you become aware of what's going on in your mind. That's what meditation teaches us, actually. I think that the first big lesson of meditation is to be aware of your thoughts and to be able to use your thoughts in a conscious way, in order to attain an experience. And for many people, that's difficult. And so the practice of meditation helps in this. But then it comes the question, meditation is not something that you should do just whilst you are seated in a room or just in a certain space of in time, like something that I just do at 4 o'clock in the morning, because that's the time I meditate, very early in the morning when the atmosphere is very silent, because even, for me, 8 o'clock, I'm already at work. So that's the time, the quality time I can offer to myself. But it's not just at that time. And so what if I meditate at 4 o'clock in the morning and then the rest of the day I'm completely unconscious? So like to bring that experience of the meditation, seated meditation, that time of meditation to your life, and be more aware of what are you thinking, or at least what are you feeling, and link the way you are feeling to the way you are thinking, and change, because that's the only place you can change anything. Really, it becomes difficult to change when it expands already in the form of words, because then when it's words and you say something, many times there is someone else involved. You might hurt someone. That person might be thinking about what you said. And then it's like the energy starts to spread and it becomes more difficult for you to control it. But when it's about what you think, and you think in a conscious way with awareness, in Brahma Kumaris, we have this wonderful technique which is called traffic control. And it's like in the day, no matter how busy you are in your day, to be able to stop for 1 minute and pay attention to the quality of your thoughts. And it doesn't matter if the quality of your thoughts was not very good so far. Let's say you were having critical thoughts or kind of thoughts of disheartenment, or I don't know, thoughts of worries. It doesn't matter. You just be aware and in 1 second change it. And that's why also another thing which is very important is to have a source of knowledge, which gives you different options in terms of how to think, how to perceive, and how to do an interpretation of situations in such a way that you are able to do this kind of transformation of the quality of your thoughts. Because sometimes if you don't have knowledge, you become stuck. You don't know how to come out. It's like a labyrinth, You are in the middle of that labyrinth and you are just lost, and you want to come out, but you don't know how to do it. And knowledge teaches you ways of kind of strategies of being able to come out of the labyrinth of situations. And so I think that spiritual knowledge, self-knowledge, knowledge about love, knowledge about God, knowledge about life, all these which you can call spiritual knowledge is really essential for you to be able to do this shift. Then another method is an attitude of gratitude. That's very spread out. Many people speak about it, but it's true. It's really true. If you are able to do, I always remember Sister Genti, and she gives this method every day before going to sleep. If you can do a little list of 10 points in your day for which you can feel grateful. Today, for sure, in my list, there is going to be my swimming, like this, and this perspective of the amazing moon, and this lecture, the opportunity of being with you. So 10 things that you have done. It can be more simple things. It can be sometimes just to breathe. the other day, I mean, I was preparing to come here, and there was a girl that I met, and she said, you know, I have never seen the ocean. She said, it's my dream to be able to see the ocean. You don't know how many times I have seen the ocean. And am I grateful for this? Because sometimes it becomes so ordinary that we lose this capacity of just being grateful. Grateful for things that might look like simple for you, as I say, like breathing, like having the opportunity of a good and healthy meal. Like for me, I'm visiting my parents, to have my parents around. So if we cultivate this feeling of this attitude of being grateful, that for sure we were able to interfere in our moods as well, because there are many more reasons to be grateful than reasons to be non-grateful or to be kind of worried. It's just a matter of seeing them and giving value to them. But somehow it looks like in society nowadays, no, it seems there is a tendency to see the half empty part of the glass, no? And we forget to see the half full part of the glass, which everyone has. I'm sure everyone has this half full part of the glass to be grateful. And then I think that to be happy is also another way to cultivate good moods, just understanding that happiness is not something for tomorrow. Happiness is not something for the future, something that I have to wait for, but I can be happy right here, right now. So just think about happiness and think about things that give you happiness and be happy and kind of spread this energy around yourself, understanding that many aspects that people relate to happiness, let's say, sometimes people think that you are going to be happy when you are successful. But you are never going to be successful if you are unhappy. You see, so happiness is a way of create success. So you don't have to wait to be successful to be happy. This success will never come to you because, you know, to be successful, it demands a great amount of energy. In all sense, I mean, you have to invest energy. And if you are not happy, you lack energy. You don't have energy. No, that's why depression many times is connected with this lack of energy. Sometimes people, they don't have strength to get up, no, to kind of to have a shower, to come out, to walk. And so it's like a lack of energy. So if we can really cultivate the energy of happiness, that is the way of having energy to invest in whatever is needed to create success, to create harmonious relationships, to create, I don't know, and beauty, no? Like, have you seen someone unhappy in beauty? It looks like it doesn't match, you know, like it's one of the ingredients of beauty. It's happiness. And sometimes it doesn't mean to be laughing all the time, but it's just your eyes and the bright in your eyes and the kind of aura you are able to create around yourself, which, give to others this feeling of beauty. So that's why we say that I don't know how many of you have met Daj Janki, you know. He used to live in London and was the main teacher of Brahma Kumaris for many years. She lived until 104. That's another thing, you know, to be happy. I mean, you cannot really aim to live longer if you are not happy, no? So to have to be happy to live longer. Daddy lived until 104 years old. And she was not a kind of, let's say, stereotype of beauty, you know, in the sense that she was short and she was a little fat, but she was so beautiful. Everyone was attracted for her. there was this aura of beauty. There was this kind of quality of beauty. There was this feeling of beauty. And you could see the beauty, which is not connected to the body, but it's connected with the energy. It's connected with the awareness. It's connected with the mood. So this is an example. You have to be happy before being successful, before being beautiful, before being healthy, before wanting or living longer. So happiness is one ingredient which is basic for all of these experiences in life. So just be happy now. Do it now with, all these methods that we just share. So I think that to have a stable mood, it's also connected with being in harmony with the drama of life around you. It's kind of be friendly with life. And it's like a relationship, Let's say you have a friend, and sometimes your relationship with your friend is, top. Sometimes there are some maybe ups and downs, but he's still your friend. She's still your friend. So imagine life as a friend. And a friend is someone in which you can trust. So do you trust life as your friend? To trust the benevolence of life, which always brings something new, as I said, a new opportunity, a new part, a new side of yourself, which is revealed, something new. And we just don't see it if you don't flow, because life is also flow. Life has nothing to do with being stuck. No, actually, there are some illnesses like cancer, for instance, which is all connected with being stuck. No, it's like stuck energy. No, it's stuck. The energy doesn't flow. The things don't flow inside, and then they create these kind of tumors. So what I want to say is that, life is flow, is movement. And that's why, to drink water, to exercise is so important, because it keeps the kind of basic law of life, of healthy life. And so to have this good humor is really to be in harmony with your life, in acceptance with your life, in kind of having friendship with your life, trusting your life, trusting the benevolence, no matter what is the situation now. Even if the situation now is not what you would expect, but it is as it is, and just bring down your expectation to be able to appreciate what is there. And I really believe that if we are able to put this into practice and see, it's, nothing complicated here, no? And as I said, sometimes it's necessary to gather, knowledge, to expose yourself. It's necessary to dedicate some quality time to create this intimacy with your own thoughts, with yourself, with the soul that you are, this inner part, the bottom of the ocean. Let's say it's necessary to create time to dive inside yourself. And sometimes it's necessary to have good company around with whom we can just share your experiences, your concerns, to just kind of make sense, So it's nice to have people with whom we can make sense of some things. But apart from that, it's something which demands activity from ourselves, to challenge our perception, to really bring down our expectations, and to observe and be aware of the quality of our thoughts, and change the quality of your thoughts with self-knowledge, and have this attitude of gratitude, and make our little list of gratitude, and be happy. And so what else? And observe what's the result, because I also think that if we don't apply, no, then it's difficult to know. So to be able to just observe the result, which comes in terms of this inner stability, that no matter what, no matter if it's sunny or if it's rainy, if it's cold or if it's hot, it's just being very simple, no? But I know that the situations are usually a little bit more complex, but no matter what, you are able to keep yourself inside stable, even because, no, like one of the basic teachings of Brahma Kumaris is this teaching that we are a soul, we are energy, kind of living energy. We are not our body, we are not our role, we are eternal. Nothing, absolutely nothing from life can damage ourselves. Nothing can damage. I mean, things can just make ourselves express different parts of us, but nothing can kill the soul, nothing can hurt the soul, nothing can damage the soul. So, I mean, really, there is no reason to take life, as someone was saying in the chat before, too seriously. Still, I mean, be responsible, but not too seriously. It's much better to go for life with happiness. So anyway, that was some thoughts that I had. I know that there is a time in which you'll be able to make questions, but let's finish this part of the session with a short meditation in which I'm going to guide you with some thoughts, and you can just try to dive in them. Take each one of them and really go inside and try to experience and kind of unfold that thought and see what comes up as an experience. So wherever we are, we just stay quiet for a moment. And you try to observe our thoughts with a gentleness, with acceptance. And you start to create new thoughts. I am a peaceful soul. I am this living energy, eternal, immortal, and full of qualities. Not just peace, but I'm also full of love, of truth, of happiness, power, purity. And for 1 second, I just feel the fullness of my being in this amazing, positive energy, elevated energy that flows from inside out. I feel surrounded by all of these qualities. And this experience puts me in alignment with the field of existence of God, the one who is supreme, the source, the ocean of love, ocean of peace, ocean of happiness. Almighty, purifier, is also energy like me, like a little sun of light. And for some moments, I just stay under this amazing, unlimited rays of benevolence. Fulfilling myself with this energy. This experience takes me beyond all the limitations of situations, circumstances. And I just feel myself completely free. I stay in this contemplation for one moment. Just feeling, without trying to define, to label. And little by little, I come back to the awareness of the space where I am, the time, Friday, weekend, feeling myself enlightened, light, and nurtured by the supreme love. Thank you.
Thank you, Patricia, for taking us through that meditation, but also for all the tips that you shared with us. I love this idea that if I'm being a perfectionist, I'm not going to be able to be happy. And it means that I'm not enjoying my life. So yes, thank you very much. And that leads into our first question here. And the first question is, what can we do if we do have perfectionist traits, that's the way we approach life? How do we break that?
Well, I think that just being aware that you have perfectionist traits is a good start. No, I think that the problem is when we don't realize, when we don't see. Because as soon as we see, we will find a solution. We will find, I don't know, help. No, it might be from therapy, it might be from spiritual awareness. Yeah, I think that there is different ways of dealing with this tendency of being perfectionist. But what I would say is that very good. I mean, you have already started just defining yourself, recognizing it, and wanting to change, like different things. Like you recognize, and it seems that you want to change because you are looking for a solution, and it will come for sure. So I would say that then I think it depends, the level or kind of the characteristics to find out what's the best way of dealing with it. But I think one of the things that I mentioned in the lecture, I mean, in a very simple ways, in simple words, is just to really bring your expectations more in alignment with your reality. And again, I mean, it's good to have an aim, to aim for the best, but not transform that aim in an expectation that doesn't allow you to enjoy what you have already, because that's the elements that you need to use to build up your aim and objective. That's how I understand.
Thank you. The next question is, could you give some suggestions on reducing anxiety and negative intrusive thoughts?
Sorry, I muted here because it was a little noise in the street and I was not hearing the question. But I think that to deal with anxiety, I already mentioned also in the lecture about this thing of having one thought at a time, to slow down, to be an observer. And I think that meditation can help. I mean, because meditation puts you in contact with what's going on in your mind. As I said, sometimes we just notice that we are anxious when your heart is beating, when you cannot sleep at night, and you kind of struggle with your mind. But all of these things start with your thoughts, and sometimes it's just a matter of not being aware. So I believe that meditation is an amazing tool to deal with anxiety. And again, I mean, everything has different ways and different levels, no? So to make friendship with your mind, to know it better and to use it in the best way. And we know that sometimes it's not just a matter of the mind, but there are other faculties inside ourselves which are going to allow us to kind of deal with the mind. And one of them, and I think that one of the amazing benefits of Brahma Kumaris is exactly to be able to develop your intellect, which is a faculty which is not very well known. Sometimes we know the intellect by the rational side of it, but the intellect is the one who does this subtle discernment. The intellect is the one responsible for the power of decision, to change, to stop, full stop. The intellect is also connected with the intuition, which says to you sometimes that even if things are not going well, they will be well. You see, like the intellect can perceive beyond time and space. And intellect is reinforced with meditation, especially with Raja Yoga meditation, which deals specifically with these faculties of the being. But sometimes there is the mind thinking, and then there is a weak intellect that really is not used in all its full capacity. And there is also everything which comes from the subconscious. So I think that to be aware of our inner world is, I mean, a good step, an important step. And again, I mean, if you feel that you cannot do it alone, then find help in the different ways that help is being offered nowadays.
Thank you. The next question I have that's come through is, it's what you're suggesting with meditation sounds lovely, but I find that my mind wanders a lot, and is often distracted. What would you suggest?
Meditation is a practice. And as any practice, the result comes with time. So let's say if you want to run, you want to become a runner, or you want to become a swimmer, no? You start probably walking and then running a little bit, and then you run for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and one day you are going to be able to run a marathon. So many times the result come with the practice, and it's not just an aleatory practice. The practice, it has to be regular and it has to be consistent. Doesn't mean that you have to meditate hours and hours, but have this aim of experience, grasping, taking something to work on from your meditation every day. And then it starts, I mean, you start to become more capable to deal with your thoughts and to deal with your mind. So, and I think that sometimes if the situation is just overwhelming, then just also to have this acceptance that, I mean, at that time, because of the situation, which was probably bigger than your spiritual state at that moment, you might be in a kind of many thoughts and all kinds of thoughts. And then you might want to look for a distraction from that situation. Sometimes it might be reading, sometimes it might be listening to something, dancing, talking, walking, working. So there is also different ways of dealing with overwhelming situations, and not always is going to be just sit and meditate. As much skilled you are in meditation, more easily you'll be able to tap into that technique. But sometimes it's just another thing that you have to do to distract yourself from that thing which is promoting so many thoughts. And then when the mind slows down and you are not thinking too much, then you might think about using these tools of self-knowledge and meditation to start to think differently. I think you have to feel the pulse, basically, you see, but always be friendly with yourself, never punishing yourself. Never thinking that you are not good enough and that you don't know how to meditate. I think that to be gentle, that's always important.
And the final question for you, Patricia, how else do you use meditation for yourself? Is it something that helps you flourish and grow? And if you've been meditating for a long time, is it just a habit or do you get something from it still?
No, I wouldn't be able to keep it if it was just a habit or something. No. Me, I don't do anything like that just for a habit or a discipline. It has to be insightful. It has to be inspiring. And I think that's how I use meditation to kind of discover myself, to feel myself. And also to discover this amazing dimension that we don't explore so much, which is this dimension beyond the senses, no? This dimension of the divine, or I mean, this dimension that exists beyond everything which is physical. As I was saying, no, to kind of dive into the ocean, for me, it's a little bit like that, to dive into this kind of spiritual ocean where you can experience so many different things, and that experience awakens different aspects of yourself as well. It's like, for me, meditation is discovery. I use meditation to discover, I use meditation to be inspired, I use meditation, to kind of to live a life which is inspiring more than anything. And of course, also to give power to the self, because, when you connect with these positive energies, you might call it God, the divine, the source, the ocean, that also kind of awakens a part of yourself which has a very pure and unique quality. And this pure and unique quality has power, you gather power, and this power changes your reality. I mean, changes it in your perception, but also changes it physically in terms of the outcome. So I find it very interesting. I'm curious to do this kind of explorations. For me, sometimes meditation is like a laboratory, really an exploration. I mean, to grasp meaning of things, you see, sometimes I think, I mean, what would be of me living without the practice of meditation? First, I would be terrified because you couldn't see much meaning in what is going on around. And if you are stuck in the moment, in the physical, I mean, you see no light at the end of the tunnel, and then you cannot really make meaning of situations and what's going on, and you feel just incapable. Situations are so big. So I think that it makes you a much better human being and capable to help others, because there is also this ingredient of meditation, no? To be able to create and to emanate a vibration which gives support to other creatures in the world, human beings, animals, nature, everything which is so scary, is scared. So like to be able to spread peace and to be able to spread love and to be able to subtly embrace and accept, all of this comes from meditation. So it's kind of an amazing practice. It's a practice for life, but it's much more than a habit.
Thank you for explaining all of that and being so inspiring with it all. So thank you. I don't think I could have said it any better in any way. It really is about living life with that inspiration and discovering things for yourself. So thank you. Thank you.